ogen is nooit zeker.
How did you get introduced to your art?
When I was 17 years old, I started doing artistic pole dancing. And when I was 18 years old, I was looking for something new. And I wanted to express myself a little bit more, be more in touch with who I am as a woman. And I got into a little more sensual class that was called burlesque. And burlesque is a kind of dancing which involves stripping, but it's mainly a comedic and self-accepting art. It's really a dance, and there's always some comedy involved. So you learn to laugh and accept yourself. And it was really freeing. I still do it today, we're 10 years later. So I can really recommend it to anyone, female or male or anything in between alike. So that's how I got into it, really by accident, really. So.
And how did people react when you started to brand, like supportive versus judgmental?
Well, at first people are judgmental because they don't really believe in your potential. You really have to prove your potential over the years to other people. So you really have to be sure of yourself, like know what you stand for. If you know what you stand for, you can persist and you can keep on building your brand as you like it. Because if you rely on other people's acceptance and approval, you will stop pretty soon with what you're doing, and that would be a shame, wouldn't it? So that's the advice I can give. Be true to who you are and trust in yourself and keep doing what you love, and that will make you happy.
And how did your parents react when they noticed you were doing something that wasn't in the norms?
Badly. They reacted really bad. They saw me as a stripper, which I'm not. I never reveal anything, nor my crotch, nor my nipples, so I'm always protected from view in some ways. But they saw it as regular stripping, so nobody, I guess, likes to see their daughter come out as a stripper. And my brother also distanced himself from me, didn't want to do anything with me anymore. I had to remove my last name from Facebook and other social media because he didn't want to be associated with me anymore, even though I don't do plain stripping. So to keep doing what I love, I had to break some bonds with my family. That really sucked, but I couldn't stop doing for other people what I love and make myself unhappy just to confirm or conform to other people. My friends were quite supportive, luckily. But many people still see burlesque as plain stripping. And that's quite not what it is, because it's so much more than stripping, to be honest. And that's why I want to bring the word out there, like burlesque is more than stripping, and it's for everyone. It's not just for young girls or young boys who want to make some money. No, you don't make that much money with it. It's a form of theater. So I really want to distance it from regular stripping in that way.
Do you feel like the way that they are treating the art is also inside our work and school life? I mean, about slut shaming and like if it's something that holds back a lot of people.
Yeah. Accepting yourself as who you are, which is part of burlesque, is often looked down upon because you are free and freely expressing yourself, which is also being a sexual and sensual human. Slut shaming is involved, yes. Unfortunately, there is a big supportive community as well, but there are always people who think you're a hooker or an escort, which is, there's nothing wrong with that, but that's not what you're trying to portray. So it sucks to be acknowledged wrongly. You will always have some resistance from certain kinds of people. But since burlesque is getting more acknowledgement in the theater world, I think that's gonna get a little better, since people see that it's more about accepting who you are as a person and not just the sexual aspect. Because there are so many women, younger girls, men, older men, in all shapes and sizes, and it's not about purely the sexual aesthetic, the beauty of who's revealing themselves under their clothes. So once people see more of that, more diversity, I think people will be more accepting of burlesque as it is, and not just simply compare it to stripping all the time.
And what is the meaning behind your artist name or your brand name?
My brand name is Lady.vengeance. I came up with that name when I was 15 years old because I needed a name to portray my persona around. When I was younger, I was often shut out of my classmates' community. I was bullied for how I dressed, what I looked like. I was a little bit different than the rest, and that was not really being accepted. So when you're younger, being a model has some kind of status, you know? It's like, oh, she's a model, she can make money with just how she looks, you know? She doesn't have to do a lot, it's a talent that you have or you have not. So I started being a model and I started doing photo shoots, and people reacted pretty positively to it. And to come back at my people who bullied me, like, fuck you, I can do whatever the fuck I want, no matter what you say. So it was more like some kind of revenge. Could you call it revenge? Yes, I guess you could call it revenge, a vengeance. Yeah. So it was really just to come back at my bullies, to empower myself, to see like I am more than what my peers tell me that I am. And I just kept doing it. I still do it today, and today it is even my job. So keep doing what you do and you'll get there.
And what do you think is the most important thing in burlesque, creativity or productivity?
Creativity. You don't have to be productive to be good at what you do. Your creativity is what makes you stand out. You can make tens, hundreds of acts, but if you still don't put your creative self or make yourself stand out there, you're not gonna be noticed. I mean, if you want to be noticed, you should be expressing yourself however you want. Not necessarily because you want to be noticed, because productivity does not make you will not make you be noticed necessarily. The more creative or controversial you are in burlesque, the more likely you will be noticed, because people love to raffle with people who are stuck in their own ways of vision. And the more expressive you are, the more if you move something, if you move something in people or make them think about, especially about cultural values or what we experience as normal in our society, then you will get noticed. And that's what we want to put forward in burlesque as well. We want to make people think, bring a message with our performances. So that's what...
And you want to stay local and bring about changes for our women, or would you like to go global?
Not necessarily global, because I'm not that unique. I don't bring that much political points of view, because after all, I'm still a white woman in Belgium. I mean, I'm not that oppressed after all. So it's not to me to say like I will bring all these political standpoints out there and awaken people. That's simply not my place to do. So I don't think I will go global. I'm not aiming to go global. I just want to do whatever I love. Doesn't matter where I go. So as long as I can keep doing what I do and I can earn a living of it, I'm very happy. I don't necessarily need to go to other continents for it.
And did COVID affect your career? And if so, how?
Oh my God. I was almost bankrupt. Really, there was no work whatsoever, so we had to think of new ways. How can we reach our audiences? So we started on payment platforms, Patreon. Some started on OnlyFans just to sell their performances for themselves. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, we all went digital. We had to because we couldn't perform anywhere. So we really had to reinvent ourselves. It was not easy. We started doing digital shows. We recorded several performances and made it to a digital show where people could pay for a ticket and then watch it online. So we've never done that before. We never had to. So it was really like think out of the box. Like how can we reach people with our message still now that we cannot perform in a theater and meet people? So it was difficult, but I'm glad there's a light at the end of the tunnel right now.
And did you bring the community closer together?
Yes, because everyone was having the same struggle. Everyone was like, I cannot reach my audience, I cannot perform and I miss it so much. How can we fix this? Well, it brings us more together as a community because we had to work together really tightly. So we needed to talk about our struggles, like what are your ideas? What do you think we can do about it? What can benefit anyone? That's the difference between where you have different artists who are like constantly competing against themselves. We are more like a tighter community. We are more like friends, or at least we mean well with each other. We want to help each other out, so we all benefit from the same solutions. So we started to talk about like we start a pay-per-view perhaps, or YouTube, or anything else that brings some money to the bank and brings your message out there mainly. So yeah.
Which artists get a shot?
That would be Natsumi Scarlet. Natsumi Scarlet is a Dutch performer. She also brings burlesque and is always like reinventing herself. She always goes out there, steps outside the lines of the normal. She always brings insane amounts of creativity, and that's what I like about her. She keeps going no matter what you put her in, and she's a woman of color as well, which I love. She is so unique at what she does. She also does shibari, like rope art, on herself, and it's really amazing what she does. She's so versatile. I'm crazy about her, so you should definitely check her out.